Xbox is going to have some absolute bangers of games over the next few years. Now, I can't tell you if they're going to have, exclusives, what the exclusives are going to be, how long they're going to be exclusive. I can't tell you that stuff, unfortunately, but, there are things that I can tell you, and that is that there's no reason to get rid of your Xbox at this particular point if you have one, because you know what, Xbox is going to have some really killer lineup of games, and regardless of where else those games go, you're going to be able to play them on Xbox. You're going to be able to play them with Game Pass. So keep that in mind as we kind of go forward. Not everything is as doom and gloom as you might think. So yeah, kind of keep that in mind as we kind of go forward into different areas of what's going on. So I want to get started. I'm the Crap Gamer. This is, of course, Crap Gamer Reviews, back with yet another fantastic video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that. A simple like really is all I ask. If you can do that, it really helps out the channel, helps the things to be seen and things. So thank you so much. I do daily gaming content, at least one video a day, sometimes two, depending on what's going on in the news. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that kind of good stuff. And, listen, so we know that Xbox is going to have a rather big year in 2025, and the reason why we know that it's going to be a big year is because we already know about a good number of things that have been introduced. But with that being said, it looks like there could be even more coming that we didn't know about. According to this, an insider claims that Xbox Series X and S will have even more big name titles outside of what's already known, which is pretty intriguing if you think about it, because we already know about Avowed, which has a release date. We already know about South of Midnight. We also already know about Doom, and we also know about Outer Worlds 2, which is pretty fantastic, and Fable is slated for 2025 as well. So obviously there are plenty of big name games in the world for Xbox fans to kind of line up and things like that. Exciting time indeed. Like I said, I'm very excited. While it's mean to do, sometimes it does not acknowledge that it's fun to make fun at certain people and companies within the gaming industry. According to this article, it says they don't do it out of malice, but rather to call out the flaws and bad decisions that they key at sometimes can make at each other and hurt themselves or shoot themselves in the foot as a whole. Sadly, there's been plenty of stories like that over the last couple of years. One of the stories that never ends on that front is the continued struggles of Xbox Series X and S. These consoles were supposed to be the dominant force of the current console generation, but it ended up not being that way at all. One of the biggest problems of the newest Xbox platform has been on the gaming side of things. Despite Microsoft buying up numerous companies, including ones with huge pedigrees and things like that, it rarely, if ever, delivers an exclusive title that truly knocks everyone's socks off. 2024 was basically no exception to that rule. Can you name a game on the platform that was exclusive to it that was truly incredible? Yeah, I didn't think so. So what hope is there for the Xbox Series X and S? Well, according to Tom Warren, 2025 might finally be the year that it breaks through and delivers consistent epic content beyond what we know. So he says, feels like Microsoft has finally hit a good cadence with Xbox Game Pass releases, especially with recent drops like Indiana Jones and what's ahead for 2025. Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom, Towerborn, Fable, Outer Worlds 2, and more coming next year. I'm also expecting an event in January and more. So to be fair, many of the 2025 titles are ones that could bring people to the Xbox in one form or another. If there are even more to add to the list, then things could get very interesting indeed. It's also important to note that 2025 will likely be an incredible year for gaming overall, as there are plenty of big name releases out across the main trio of consoles, and Nintendo will be dropping the Switch 2, which will undoubtedly have a plethora of games to launch the console with as well. So Xbox and Microsoft unleashing the quote-unquote big guns and trying to leverage all their big acquisitions to try and level the playing field would be a great move. So there's already rumors of a big developer showcase in January, and that could be where we see many of these games that might be exclusive to the console, at least timed or somewhat anyway. The catch is the case with the Xbox is the question of quality. Yes, some of the games big names and big games are coming. Just because it's an exclusive release doesn't mean it's good or that it'll stay exclusive for too long. Indiana Jones is proof of that, which again, you have Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation, so that is a big game for Xbox, and it is a great game, like no doubt, man. Let me just say, it's a really, really great game, but I don't really look at that as a win for Xbox, because at the same time of like a lot of these things kind of going on, we live in a world where that's a game going to PlayStation. So yeah, there are some things kind of going on that we kind of have to look at and say, well, Microsoft can do better there, or Microsoft could have done better there. For me personally, I think that that's something that we all need to kind of look at and say, hey, this is definitely a really interesting situation that Microsoft finds themselves in. And again, they have to kind of figure out what they want to do and where they want to go. I mean, listen, I can sit there and say things all day long, or do a million videos and talk about how Microsoft did this or that, and at the end of the day, people look at me and go, oh, well, I see you on X and you say this or that or the other thing, but then your videos say something else. Listen, I think Xbox, like, I'm not a like PlayStation, interestingly enough, has done next to nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and I try to tell people that, like PlayStation has really done nothing in terms of this generation, right? Like, the PS5 Pro is an okay console and all that kind of good stuff, but at the end of the day, we live in a world where it realistically, that thing is almost worthless. You know what I mean? And it's super unfortunate that kind of stuff happens the way that it does, because realistically, Microsoft kind of put themselves in this weird situation where people will wait things out. Like, when you've told people that you have a certain amount of things coming, or something coming or not coming, people buy into that. So you have to be able to have some kind of idea of what you want to do in the future, and I think that's Microsoft's big problem, is that they really don't have an idea that we know of anyway. Like, if they do have an idea, they sure as hell haven't told us, realistically. I mean, we all can sit there and guess and go, oh, well, it looks like they're doing this, or it looks like they're doing that, but to be quite clear, other than that, we don't really know. It's just kind of a guessing game. They don't keep us in the know, and because they change their direction so often, it's hard really knowing what's coming and what's going. You have one week, you have Phil Spencer talking about, hey, well, we're doing, any game could go to PlayStation. And then, a couple weeks later, you have Matt Booty saying, well, we're kind of doing that at a case-by-case basis. It depends on this, that, the other thing. It's blah, 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 yakety smackety. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff that I think people get a little bit fed up with. And I do hope that, Microsoft understand that, and how absolutely frustrating to the extreme this is for the fans of gaming in general. So, hopefully, anyway, that's something that realistically happens before too long, because I would like to see Microsoft really get into, into something of a cadence of, hey, we're releasing great games, you should buy an Xbox, and and again, we haven't really seen that yet. I definitely just want to see that in the future. I want to see Microsoft be competitive. I want to see Microsoft go out there and try to kick a little ass and see what see what's going to happen. So, you know what I mean? It's going to take something of a fight. It's going to take something of a it's going to take something of a, not just a fight, but it's going to take some kind of a clear plan that they stick with for a while, right? Like, the plan that I feel, and listen, I'm just a nobody, that could work, right, is one where they actually release exclusive games for many years and, see what happens. Because if you look at their most successful year, it was 2021 with the Series X, and they released an exclusive every single month for the last 5 months of the year. And then you wonder why sales were up. I mean, if you're a metrics company, then that's what you should be looking at. Look at the metrics. You know, it's all right there, and it's all kind of easy to see what's going on. So let me know what you guys think. Rack them up. Crap Gamer out.